What's going on with all my billionaires out there? This the guy, Hood's Billionaire. Welcome to Hood's Billionaire TV. Big favor, big abundance. On today's episode, we got Book Club Sundays. And on today's Book Club Sunday, we're going to be covering The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a really good book. So pretty much Darren Hardy was just talking about how he grew up, how his father, instilled discipline in his life in an early age. So he's a self-made millionaire in his 20s, self-made multi-millionaire in his 20s, who just learned that discipline at an early age to get you to where you want to be in life. You know what I mean? And the compound effect is pretty much about making small changes and the effect that those small changes have over time. You know what I mean? And he calls it the compound effect, which that's what it is. And when you make, large changes, it's hard to keep up those large changes that you make over time. But if you just make small changes over time, you'll start to see the results. It's just kind of like compound interest and how compound interest works. You know what I mean? Small amounts of compound interest over time equal a large sum. So it's pretty much the same with this. If you want to make a minor change to your diet, say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym, but instead of going 5 days a week and working out for 2 hours, try to go maybe 3 times a week and work out for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Instead of just a full out, man, I'm finna go vegan from eating junk food. That's a big jump. Hey, just try maybe cutting out, 150 to 200 calories out of your normal diet and do that over the course of time. And over the course of time, those small changes, and let's say 24 to 36 months, you'll see a huge impact in your life. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a huge difference from cutting out those 150, 200 calories. You'll see a huge difference from going to the gym 3 times a week for 30, 45 minutes. And those are changes that you can sustain over time. If you read, telling yourself you're going to take in a book a week, that might be too much to start with. But if you say, hey, I'm gonna make sure I read, a book a month, or just read something, you know what I'm saying? At least, finish a book a month, or make sure I read an article or something that I, for 10, 15 minutes every day, just read an article or a couple pages from a book or something like that. That's something that's sustainable over time. And over time, you'll start to see those improvements made in your life. What he calls the compound effect. And you can do this with anything. You can do this with your friendships. You can do this with your marriage. You can do this with your finances. You can do this with your spiritual life. You can do this with just all avenues of your life. You can use the compound effect and make small changes, and you will see those small changes add up over time to make you and you will see the results of your hard work over time. So definitely a good, really great book, man. I definitely suggest a must read, man. If you're talking about making some changes in your life and you don't know where to start, you know what I mean? And every time you kind of try to make changes, you always end up going backwards, which that happens, but that's because if you're jumping too far off to begin with, biting off more than you can chew, then it can be hard. You know what I'm saying? Before you start saying, man, I'm going to get up at, 5 o'clock every morning, but you typically wake up at 8, try 6:30 first. You know what I mean? Or try 7 first. Hey, I'm going to wake up at 7. And I'm going to do that for a couple months. Hey, I'm going to wake up at 6. Then I'm going to do that for a couple months. Hey, I'm going to wake up at 5. Then I'm going to do that for a couple months. You see what I'm saying? Do small incremental changes that over time you can start to sustain, and you'll see more productivity in your life. So it was really a great book, man. I definitely think y'all should check it out. Let me know what y'all think, man. It's the guy, Hood's Billionaire, big favor, big abundance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. This the guy, Hood's Billionaire, big favor, big abundance, the compound effect. Darren Hardy. Y'all check it out. I'm gone.